Well, hello everybody, we're back in the kitchen. It's been a while, but hope you'll enjoy today's recipe. We are going to make banana blueberry muffins, and for our sweetener we're going to use Splenda. However, if you prefer, you can use sugar instead. Well, I guess I better sing you a song. I haven't sung one for a while. I know. When the deep purple falls over sleepy garden walls, and the stars begin to flicker in the sky, through the midst of the memory, you wander back to me, breathing my name with a sigh. In the still of the night, once again I hold you tight. Though you're gone, you are near when moonlight shines. And as long as my heart will beat, lover will always meet here in my deep purple dreams. Well, I thought of that because even though we call them blueberries, if you've ever had a stain from a blueberry, it's usually deep purple. Anyway, let's get to our recipe. I'm going to bring you over here so you can see what's happening. So the first thing you're going to want is a banana, and you're going to want to mash that up. Who doesn't like mashing up a banana, right? Now, you just want to mash the bejeebies out of it. You don't want to do it too much. You don't want to mash it to smithereens. That would be overboard. You want to mash the bejeebies out of it, because you don't want the bejeebie flavor in your muffins. Then you're going to want a cup of yogurt. Sorry, I got a kitty cat in the background making noises, and my wife making noises at the kitty cat. So if you can hear that, just ignore it. So I'm using one tub of blueberry yogurt and 1 tub of vanilla because I didn't have 2 tubs of blueberry, but preferably a cup of blueberry yogurt. If you don't have a cup of blueberry yogurt, then you can use a cup of vanilla yogurt. Or if you want to make these a different berry flavor, you could use a different berry. So you could, if you want to make them strawberry, use strawberry yogurt and strawberries. Or raspberry yogurt and raspberries. But you get the idea. There we go. Now we want to mix that all together. Get your banana well blended into that. Now, as I said, I'm using Splenda. So it's 1 cup of Splenda, but if you prefer, you can use 1 cup of sugar instead. Get that blended in there nicely. Now the next thing we're going to add is 1 egg. And blend that in there as well. You could do this in a Mixmaster if you prefer, if you don't want to use the arm muscle power. So whichever way you want to mix it doesn't really matter. Then we're going to want 1/3 of a cup of vegetable oil. I'm using canola oil, but sunflower oil or just plain vegetable oil would work. I'll set that there. We're going to need that again in a minute, so I'll just do that. So again, just want to get that mixed in well. Well, you could use the whisk for this. I got the whisk out, but I tend to use my fork more than anything else. All right. Here's the oven saying it's ready. You're going to want to preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Now we're going to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And blend that in. If you can hear a sort of funny noise in the background, that's my cat scratching at the door to the porch because he thinks that he needs to go outside, and he's an indoor cat. So, but every now and then he gets this idea in his mind. Then you're going to need 1 teaspoon of baking soda. So 1 teaspoon baking powder, 1 teaspoon baking soda. And we'll mix that in well too. Okay, and then you're going to want 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And once you have that nicely blended, we're going to start adding 1½ cups of flour. One nice thing about doing this by hand rather than using a mixer is you don't have to worry about that little plume of flour going into the air when you add it to the mixer. And if that happens, that probably means your mixer is running a little too fast. But I have had it happen to me and had that little poof go up into the air. Make sure you get this blended in well because you don't want any lumps of flour. Not very pleasant if you're eating something and you suddenly get a lump of flour in your mouth. This past Sunday was Mother's Day, so a belated Happy Mother's Day to those of you who didn't see the post I put up. I did put up a post for Mother's Day to wish you all a happy Mother's Day, but I know not everybody looks at the posts. So if you didn't look at the post, I didn't forget you, and a belated happy Mother's Day to you. There, we've got 1 cup blended in. You can see this is starting to make more of a batter now. It's getting thicker. This is going to be a fairly thick batter. It's almost a dough, but not quite.
flour in off the sides. And really give that a good mix. Like I say, if you're not a hands-on kind of person, then you can always use your mix master. And once we've got that really blended well, we're going to add 1 cup of blueberries. You can see there's some blueberry juice in there too. And we'll blend those into our cupcake batter. Now, like I say, you can make these with a different berry if you prefer. So you can make banana strawberry, banana raspberry, banana blackberry, whatever kind of berry you have at hand or you like. Also make these with Saskatoon berries if you have those available. Logan berries, lots of different kinds of berries. Don't know if I'd make them with gooseberries. You'd probably have to put extra sweetener in if you did that. But there we go. There's our batter. It's all ready to go. We'll just spoon our batter into, now I'm using parchment paper, cupcake papers. I like them better than the regular ones because cupcakes don't stick to them, so you don't lose half your cupcake to the paper. And you want to fill your papers about 2/3 full. About like that. Now this, according to the recipe, makes 12, but again it would depend on how big you're making them, so you may get more or you may get less. And you want to try and keep it in the muffin paper. And it looks like we're going to get pretty much exactly a dozen. There, we'll use our spatula to get the rest here. And we'll just snitch a little bit out of some of the other ones to fill up this one to get our full dozen. So we have these ready to go in the oven. Our oven's preheated to 375 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're going to bake them for 25 minutes. Set our timer, and we'll be back when they're done. Well, we're back. We've just a few seconds left on the clock, and we will have banana blueberry muffins. Down to just a few more seconds here. And there we are. See how our muffins turned out, shall we? Oh, look at those. They're blueberry muffins. see, look at those. Aren't those nice? So there you have it, folks. If you want them bigger and you like them to mushroom over the top, then of course you can make fewer and put more batter in the cup. But this is a nice size, so the recipe makes a dozen. I hope you've enjoyed today's recipe, and we'll tune in. You can turn in on Friday too, but I hope you'll tune in on Friday for Chapter 4 of Robin Hood, Little John Meets His Match. And until then, take care, stay safe, and God bless.